Alright, what's up students? In this video I'm going to go over the explanation or the handling of the Cros Twist, okay, which is just a minor variation on Paul Harris's Bizarre Twist, which can be found in Volume 1 of the Art of Astonishment book series. Okay, Paul Harris was kind enough to grant permission for me to share this effect with you here on this channel. By the way, I get the question every now and then, what book sources would you recommend learning from? And honestly, the Art of Astonishment book series was one of the most influential in my card magic. It's a 3-book series, and they're all really great. So if you do want to learn more about these books, I'll include a link in the description box down below so you can check out some more information there. But let's go ahead and get into the explanation for the Cros Twist. Okay, so to do this effect, what you need is an odd-backed card from a different deck. So you're going to take an Ace of Spades from a red deck, and you're going to mix it in within your regular blue deck. So take out the Ace of Spades from the blue deck, remove it, and replace it with the red-backed one. And normally I start off with this trick by just having the ace just randomly mixed somewhere in there. And then in addition to the ace, you need 2 other cards. I like to use low value cards that are of the opposite color. So in this case, we'll just use the 2 red 3s. Okay, but they can be anything you want. So when you start off the trick, you're gonna say that you just need a few cards, and one at a time, you're just gonna remove the 2 3s in this case, and then the Ace of Spades. Okay, and you want to make sure that the Ace of Spades ends up being on top. Okay, so it's above the 2 face-up red 3s. At this point, you remove the deck, and then you kind of just explain what's going to happen in the trick. And at this point, the move that you need to do is a 2-card turnover. Okay, and to get your pinky break below the top 2 cards of this packet, what I do is a technique known as the pinky pull down. And the way this works is I'm using the tip of my pinky to contact the bottommost card in this packet, and I'm literally just pulling down on it. It's a bit of an acquired touch. You do need a little bit of sensitivity in your pinky to be able to feel that bottom card, but with some practice you'll be able to get it. Once you pull that card down, now you're in perfect position to just come by and insert your fingers into the gap and turn those 2 cards over as one. Okay, so you do need to be familiar with a double lift. I'll link you to a reference for that if you're kind of new to sleight of hand here. But you're going to do a 2-card turnover right on top of the packet. At this point, there's a little bit of choreography involved. You're going to remove the topmost card. At the same time, you're doing a wrist kill so that this red card doesn't flash, so that no one sees it. So the way that works, it's very simple actually. I'm going to come over with my thumb. I'm going to pull up on the topmost card, and as I kind of take this card away, I'm just turning my hand palm down. So in the action of tabling the top card here, they think this is the ace. I'm just very casually turning my hand over. Check a mirror, you'll find that it's actually very easy to cover. Okay, of course it's going to flash from this angle, but from the front, no one will see that red card. Just like so. Okay, at this point, you're going to rearrange your grip of the left-hand cards. So I pinch the right edge right here, and then that allows me to turn my left-hand palm up and re-grip it like so. So that's my left middle and ring fingers on the right edge, thumb at the left edge, and my first finger is at the front. And you want to keep this packet very square. These 2 cards need to be aligned very well, because if they get misaligned, they'll see that the bottom card is face up already. Okay, so keep them square. You pick up the card that you tabled, and now you're going to pretend to do this weaving action. Now, before I get into that, I do want to mention that if you don't have a table, it's okay. You can still do this. The way that it would work in that case is you do the turnover as normal, and once you get to this point, instead of tabling this card, instead what I kind of do is I kind of just place the double card in my left hand right here, and I pinch it with my right hand, and that again allows me to get into grip and then move into the trick as usual. Okay, but once you're at this point, what you're doing is you're acting like you're threading this card in between the 2 cards that are in your hand. So I would actually practice actually doing it just to get familiar with what that would look like, or how that feels to actually get that card to go in between. I'm looking through the scope of my camera right now, so it's a bit harder for me. Let's see, like right there, I just did it. That's what it would actually look like, but you're going to imitate that. Okay, so the way that I do is I just pretend to struggle a little bit. I pretend to aim and maybe miss once or twice, and then I pretend to get it. And really what's happening is I'm literally just placing that card on the bottom of the packet here. Okay, now the first finger plays an important role. It's curled underneath. Okay, and what that allows you to do is once you slide this card on the bottom of the packet, I can start to push it in, and then I can completely remove my right hand, and that card is going to stay right there. So that's what really sells the illusion that that card is in fact in the middle of the pack. The tip of my first finger is just keeping it right there. Once I've done that, I'm going to momentarily grip the cards like so, and then I'm going to rearrange to this grip. This is the end position that you want to be in. So thumb is on the center of that double card on top, and then my right hand fingers are contacting that bottommost card. Okay, so once again, you're in this position, you do the fake threading or the weaving, boom, and then I come over, I grab the cards with my right hand like so. And now here's the move. This is where you're visually going to turn that card face up. And this part can be quite a bit challenging. The goal is when you do this, well, let me show you what's happening in slow motion first. So I'm swiveling the cards, and this is what's happening under the larger motion. Boom. And you end up exactly how it should be with the face-up card in between the two red threes. Okay. Now that's what it looks like slowly. At speed, when you do this under the larger motion of shaking your hand back and forth, they won't be able to see it. It should look like it just visually turns face up. Okay, the larger motion covers the smaller motion. And this illusion looks best when, after doing this, that ace is completely perpendicular to the remaining two cards. Now, sometimes it may not happen, okay? It can actually be quite challenging to get that ace completely perpendicular. So you might end, for example, with something like this. And it's still a good trick. It still works. However, you should strive to get it so that you end with that card completely perpendicular. It really sells the illusion. But let me kind of talk you through a bit the motion of doing this here. My thumb is applying a little bit of pressure downwards, and then with my right hand fingers from underneath, I'm kind of just swiveling. Okay, this is the motion I'm doing. Let me see if I can get you a good angle here. So doubles on top. Notice how my fingers from underneath are kind of outstretching, and then my thumb is keeping this card in place, and that allows the whole thing to swivel until you're left with that ace face up and perpendicular. So slowly from here and under the larger motion, boom. Okay, and then at speed, let me show you what that would look like. You're here, and let me square that better. You're here, and then you're here. Okay, see how good that can look? Once you've done that, you slowly remove the ace. Okay, they're going to be amazed at this point. They literally saw a card turn face up before their eyes. You flip over the remaining two cards, and then you're going to deposit the ace on top of that packet. And now you're going to move into phase number 2, which is even stronger. Okay, at this point, you're going to do a glide. Okay, I'll briefly go over the glide here. In the process of turning my left hand palm down, I'm using the tip of my middle finger to kind of in-jog that ace. So I kind of point to the ace, and then as I turn over, I'm literally just sliding it backwards a bit. Okay, so I end in this position, but they can't see that. This allows me to secretly pull out the second card from the bottom of the deck, or the bottom of the packet, which is just random 3, but they think it's the ace. Okay, I table it, and then as I come over with my right hand, I'm going to square these two cards up, and basically I just kind of hit the top card here, and that squares it up nicely. Okay, I pinch, and I'm going to get back into the position that we were in for the first phase. It's exactly the same thing. You're literally going to repeat exactly what you just did. You pretend to do the threading or the weaving of the card in between the two others, and you get back into the position, and then it's literally the same thing. This time, instead of the card turning face up, it's going to turn into an opposite color, which is just a killer effect. Another little subtlety that you can do to make this part even stronger is that when you bring out the cards to begin with, pull them out of a blue box, and you're really going to enforce the idea or the sight of the deck being completely blue. And then I end by, again, spreading through the whole deck and showing that the Ace of Spades changed color. So that's the Cros Twist. Fantastic trick, very visual, and it uses a few really cool moves, and just a fantastic packet trick that you can do in a lot of different situations. So I hope you enjoy that, and go ahead and like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next lesson. Take care.